morning and welcome to Prep with the Pro week 9. Now I really hesitated about doing this video, but I thought no, I'm intending to show you a real prep, so this is about as real as it gets. I feel like total crap. I've just worked the Arnie's 2 days straight. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, which is exceptionally unusual for me to actually be in bed because that just never happens. But I actually feel like complete crap, and I think I've crashed myself again by doing too much. So not really quite sure what I want to say yet, apart from look after yourself, and clearly I'm not doing that. Since I got back from South Africa, I've worked every night and every weekend, so I just haven't had a break. And in the last 2 weeks, my strength has gone. My lifts have been down, even though I've been losing the weight. I've completely lost strength in the gym, and I don't really know why. Probably just because I've been doing too much. This week as well, I haven't been sleeping very well, so I haven't been recovering. And today, right now, I'm supposed to do my hip, but I'm actually not going to because clearly I need a day off. After 2 days working at the Arnie's, I haven't really eaten properly because it's just full on. So, Saturday I took 4 meals and I only got through 3 of them. And yesterday I took the same 4 meals and I only got through 2 of them. So although I had a decent dinner both days, long days on your feet, just not eating properly, has really knocked me off my perch a little bit. So at the moment, like I say, it's 9 o'clock in the morning and I got home at midnight and I slept solidly till 8:30. So I literally just crashed, and that just, I never usually get 8 hours sleep straight. And since then, it's 9 o'clock now, and I just cannot summon the energy to get out of bed at the moment. I feel like I've been hit by a train. So I think I'm going to my doctor in another couple of weeks, so I'm going to get all my blood tests done again, because right now I just think I've completely crashed myself again, which is really not a good situation to be in. I just need to I need to take my own bloody advice for a change. Anyway, so I will do an update later with all of the numbers and things if I can get out of bed. But right now, I'm actually just going to go. I don't even have the energy to go and get a proper breakfast, but that's exactly what I need. So I'm going to make myself get up and have a damn good breakfast and a cup of tea. And then I think I'm going to catch up on some crap TV. I believe the new Survivors started and I still haven't caught up on The Bachelor. So that's going to be my Sunday instead of my hit, which I think a lot of you would find much more preferable. Anyway, so in the I guess in the realms of wanting to keep it real, then this is quite real. I was a bit hesitant about this prep anyway, and it's so far it's been the strangest prep I've ever done. My body's all over the place, even though the fat is coming off. I'm just not comfortable with where I'm at the moment, and I just don't feel that I've clicked into gear at all. And I suspect it's because I'm just doing too much, and I think today is an indication of that. So in the interests of keeping it real, this is about as real it gets, and I'll talk to you soon when we get round to the numbers. Hi folks, welcome to Prep with the Pro, week 9, and I just want to give you a quick update. It's about 10 to 11, and after the previous video, I managed to crawl out of bed. I think I fell asleep for half an hour, crawled out of bed, made myself a protein shake, crawled back into bed, and 2.5 hours later, I've finally woken up, and I've actually realised what it is. Apart from the fact that I am tired, yes, from working too hard generally. I was lying here wondering why I feel like my whole body is encased in concrete, and why everything's just so heavy, and my arms just feel like they're, each of them weighs about 4 tons, and I just don't have the energy to lift them. My eyelids even feel like they're so heavy I can't keep them open, and I've realised it's because I actually had 6 lollies, just 6 little jelly bean type lollies yesterday backstage, and of course they're not gluten free, and being full blown celiac, any amount of gluten just will knock you on your ass. Usually you get really awful stomach pains as well, which I haven't had, but the absolute exhaustion and zero energy, it's hit me. That's why I feel like I've been hit like a train today. Just 6 little tiny jelly bean type lollies has knocked me on my ass completely. So I'm really not doing very well this week. So I've got to pick up my game and start bloody looking after myself and taking my own advice. Anyway, I just thought I'd give you a quick update because I figured out what it is, why I'm so bloody tired and exhausted.
Hi folks, well welcome to the Roundup part of week 9. I've finally sort of recovered and got a bit of energy back. It's about 5:30. You may have seen on Insta my exceptionally huge double breakfast. I think combination of everything. I kind of just went, you know what, stuff it today. I need to get some calories. I've been in such a massive deficit of calories the last 2 days. I just need some calories in me, and so that's what I did, and I chose to make them extra tasty as well. Anyway, I'll actually do a post about that in a bit, because I have had a question asked about how is it possible that my breakfasts can fit into my into my comp diet. So I will do another post about that later. But let's get on to the roundup of where I'm at. Because week 9, I've just looked at the calendar and I had horrible realization that I'm actually halfway there. I've only got 10 weeks to go. So it's starting to get to the pointy end, and I really need to make sure that things are starting to line up. So that being said, let's go through my weight. Monday, 59.3, up a little bit on the previous day, and then fortunately I came back down under the 58 mark on the Tuesday. Wednesday I was 58.4. Now Thursday, unfortunately I had to clear out a whole load of space on my phone, so I've stupidly gone and deleted Thursday, which was 58.2. So I have had some progression down, and Thursday at 58.2 is 0.3 down on my lowest point last week. So I'm chalking that up to a 0.3 loss on the week, which is okay. It's not ideal, but it's still a loss, which indicates that, as I was talking about last week, I was talking about the sweet spot. I may have found it finally. So let's get on to some numbers now. Overall, the average was pretty good, round about where I was for last week, which is exactly what I intended to do. A bit higher in fat and carbs this week because it just happened that I had, as you know, I'm doing the macro cycling, so Monday was a high carb day and Thursday was a high carb day. So this week, yes, I have had 2 high carb days, and actually tomorrow is a high carb day, but I've kind of done that today with my breakfast. So tomorrow I will go back to a high protein day instead. Now, there's my calories for the week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, yeah, pretty good. Thursday, I actually did a refeed instead of a high carb day. So I did do my burger, which is lovely. And then you can see Friday and Saturday I was well down on my calories because I was working at the Arnie's and I just didn't get a break. So I just didn't have time to get any food in. And Sunday I haven't actually recorded any food. So overall, completely inconsistent. And here's the actual macro breakdown. So you can see on Monday was a very high carb day. Tuesday, Wednesday, yep, totally in the high protein. Thursday was the refeed. Friday, Friday, I literally just ate. I just had protein shakes and meat pretty much. And yesterday, yesterday at the Arnie's, although it was pretty much meat and protein shakes, I did have those lollies, which has kind of spiked the carbs a little bit. So a bit naughty there. So how am I looking? Now you'll notice I'm into shorts. Oh, and I've put the numbers over my legs. But what's good is you can see some nice separation coming through my delts, particularly there. I'm probably looking bloated through the stomach because of the lollies I ate yesterday. God, I look like a bulldog licking piss off a thistle is the phrase that my brother uses. But what's really pleasing, if I can find the bloody cursor, is some separation in my legs. At week 9, with 10 weeks to go, really, really good to see that separation in my legs. You can see that I'm looking a little bit bloated, even though I'm very, very down on calories. For the last 2 days, I'm still looking a little bit bloated through the middle. I've got some nice chest separation happening, and again, you can see some nice delt separation. Okay, let's look at the back then. You can actually see a hint of hamstring separation, which is fantastic news, given that I've still got 10 weeks to go. I do appear to have a bit of glute and hammy separation there, which is fantastic to see. And I do seem to have some more definition through my back. So sprints look like they're working, the sleds look like they're working. So it is coming off and it's beginning to show. So that's really good to see. And I thought I'd do a back bicep as well. Keep losing my cursor, there it is. Yeah, look, you can definitely see it. A hint of hamstring separation, which is nice to know with 10 weeks to go. This is really, really good news. So although potentially I'm not quite where I want to be weight-wise, it looks like body composition wise I could actually be bang on track. And I don't know if you saw a post. I did do a post during the week about a pair of pants that I had to wear for the Arnie's, and usually I can't get into them when I'm above 58 kilos, and they, even though I'm 58 kilos, they actually fitted really quite well and were not snug. They were actually really comfortable. I was very bit worried about if I sat down they might explode, but they didn't. So I potentially it looks like I am more muscular than last year, which of course is the purpose of all of this. So potentially being heavier than I want to be at 10 weeks out might not be as bad as it seems, and I might not have to get down as low as I think. But anyway, we'll give it another couple of weeks. We'll really start to show where we're at. So let's go on to the spreadsheet, and hope you can see this, by the way. I'm going to drop my calories just a little tiny bit just to make sure the fat lot keeps going. So I'm actually going to drop them from around about 1750 down to about 1700. I'm going to keep rotating the macros, and you can see that my average for the week is 58.7, and quite strangely enough, even though I've only lost about, I have lost the point. Is that 0.4? No, it's 0.5. I have lost about 0.5. So I'm actually losing at the correct rate, which is good news. So I'm really, really pleased to see that. So I'm still about half a kilo above where I want to be, but given how I'm looking, I could actually be on track. And this is where photographs are so important to see how you're tracking as well. It's not just the numbers that count, but photographs do show a different story. So pay attention to, use all of the tools at your disposal. Now, how's this looking on the sort of kind of average trend? Well, it actually looks like I've kind of lost a little bit more than trend. I was bang on trend at week 6. Weeks 8 and 9, I seem to have ducked under the trend line, which is great, which means I'm losing at a faster weight loss than the trend. So look, I'm going to keep going with this. I will drop the calories a little bit this week, only by 50 calories, and I will keep doing the macro cycling. I have had a high carb day today with with my rather blowout breakfasts, and so tomorrow we'll be right back onto the high protein. I'll do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday with the high protein, and I'll refeed on Thursday and see how we're going then. But look, overall, despite the celiac episode and the lollies and not being so consistent and working too hard and all of the above, it looks like I'm still strangely on track. So I'm going to keep going with this. Okay, so I hope that helps, and I'll talk to you next week.